MrMFretwell plays Minecraft, and we're here today again in the lab, but we're only going to be here for a short while. We're going to be working underground today, as my plan is to work on the bulk storage area that I aimed for last episode, but just ran out of time, having spoken about insomnia, and also working on our cactus farm over here. So as you can see, since the last episode, I have made a few changes to the cactus farm, and I did want to keep you in the loop with that. So I just added some green rings here, as opposed to the clay that we were using before, and I think that's the better option, honestly. At least to me it looks a lot better, so I'm pretty happy with that. I think I'm pretty much done with the cactus farm at this point. I do want to add some decoration around it. As you can see, I've added a few trees around and about, but not really anything more than that. So, as I say, in today's episode, we are going to work on that bulk storage area. Planted a few trees around here too, they've just not grown yet. So what I would like to do is kind of set up a storage zone for all the supplies that we keep collecting a lot of. For example, dirt, cobblestone, gravel, those sorts of materials, and kind of have a big space for it all to go in, because as it stands, my current bulk storage area is pretty unpleasant. It has to be said. I will show you what it looks like now through here. So over here is where the dark room is, and we have a little hole in the wall here, and this is where my bulk storage is at the moment. And it's just lots of chests filled with cobblestone right now. It's pretty unpleasant, so I would like to have a nicer area in place than what we currently have, and I think here is a good spot for it, because the other big problem that we have, and I don't really have any blocks. Let me get some blocks. Conveniently enough, I have this right here, so I'm gonna get some cobblestone here really quick. We have this over here, and for anybody who's kind of new to this series or just simply doesn't remember what this is a pathway which goes to the branch mine. I think it marks out where the branch mine is. What do we got here? Some gravel there. I guess an enderman must have put that there. Yeah, the branch mine is directly below here. That's what that log indicates. So, something above us? No, but it sounds more that way. What's this? Oh my. A cave with a lot of monsters in it. There we go, get rid of that spider. Skeleton. Oh, there we go. Got a creeper in here. I didn't realise this was here. This was interesting. Wonder where this leads to. Nothing in the corner there. This doesn't really lead to anything. There's some water though. I think it's above us though, rather than below. Oh yeah, look at that. What level are we at here? 53? Is that the surface? Yeah, that's the surface. Okay. It's the river. It's interesting. I didn't know this was here. Okay, full of monsters. That said though, knowing that this was full of monsters is a good sign. That means that there's not many places left here that are dark. Where are you at, zombie? I don't know where he is. It doesn't really matter too much. That was pretty cool that we have this area here. So this links up with the branch mine, and what I would like to do is have a bulk storage area that basically starts off here and then connects to the branch mine, if I can. Maybe through a ladder or something like that, so we kind of have a connection, because as it stands, if I want to go branch mining, I have to leave the storage room here, go up and over through the lab, and then to where the cabin is, and down that staircase. So what I would like to do is kind of simplify that a little bit. So the first thing we need to do is kind of work out a design and also a location. Now for the design, I've already been thinking about this for a little bit. And what I would like to do for the design is do something a little bit like what we have in here. I want to keep it the same theme, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bottom row like this, but then there would be cyan clay here, basically. There only needs to be really one row to kind of cap it all off. I don't know 100% whether I would go 2 blocks in or whether I would have something a little bit like this. I think I would prefer a panel like that was sort of raised off the floor, maybe. I'm not sure whether I would like one or the other, really. It's hard to kind of really tell what it would look like, because I don't want to do this here. I want to do something like that because it looks a little too flat at that point. I do like it having some depth, but I do want to kind of play off of what we already have here, and I'm going to use white stained clay for that, as I just have a lot of white stained clay. I don't want to chew through all my hardened clay, as I'm going to have to make quite a bit of cyan. And as you can see, I don't have an unlimited supply, so I definitely want to sort of copy this design a little bit and use the white stained clay. Now, as for the location that this is going to be at, I'm not sure 100%. I know which general area I want to be in. For example, I want it to be here near the darkroom trap. I do know that. And I do know that I want it to be in convenient location with the branch mines. So this really makes the most sense. And we already have this room here as well, which would be a starting point. The question is exactly where total would I want to put this. Would I want to go closer to the staircase here because the branch mine is actually right there? I'm not so sure I would. I do want some room here. How much room do we have before we hit the cyan clay this side? Oh, okay. Didn't see that there. This is the pistons here. So let's just kind of leave that alone for a while and kind of go maybe 3 blocks in front of that so we have a little bit of room. Maybe we'll do that instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then door. So we're definitely going to have more room this way. See how far we can go before we run into something this way. Right, there's a staircase that way. Immediately I'm seeing a lot more that way. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move this doorway here to be somewhat in the center of all of this. And probably go from there and take advantage of all the space we have between here and here for that. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to do a little bit of carving out and figuring out exactly where everything is. But I'm going to get on with that a little bit off camera, as it's pretty boring to sit there and watch me dig something out. So I'm going to go ahead and do some digging, and then I will be back. Okay guys, so I've been hard at work and I cleared out the space that we are going to need for the bulk storage area here, and I've also started to put together a basic design for what I'm going for. Nothing too complex. I changed my mind a little bit and I don't want to use white stained clay anymore. Instead I'm going to go and use yellow. We have a decent amount of that, and I can make more fairly easily. I just didn't like the way that white looked with quartz, really, so I decided not to use it. So this is going to look, as I say, very similar to what we already have in other parts of the base. So I brought some quartz here with me so I can go ahead and make some stairs. I do have a crafting table right here that we can use, and let's just try and place a few down and see what it looks like. Obviously item frames will sit on here as they usually do, and I think I want to do it in sections of 7 like I did downstairs. So we've got 4 right now, so that would be 5, 6, and then 7 there. There we go. And then we have this sort of banner or beam or whatever you want to call it coming across here, and then this would come down and meet up on this side, and then we would have that clay there, the cyan, and then this would meet up right along here. Looks a bit weird. Oh, okay. Slightly messed this up here. We actually first want it to be connected. Got to make sure that we do that. That's really important. So that it looks right. And now we can cap it off right at this end. So now we can see what it looks like. Obviously we would have redstone lamps in here instead of torches. I like that. I do like that a lot. And then our chests would sit in here, as they always do, and then I could item frame label them as I normally do, and then on top of here would be the roof. I did want it to have some depth, and I think that this is a good compromise. So what I'm thinking is we'll have another one of these here, and then another two over there. We'll probably have some ender chests on this wall. The only problem with that is we only have a one thick wall here. So unless I was to add something in, which I mean I could do, I'm going to be limited on options here as to what I can do. The other option would probably be to put an ender chest in the middle here, which I really don't want to do. I kind of want to just have the sections expand. One thing I'm looking at, if I continued that there, no, I don't like that. I prefer it the way it is. It probably just looks a little weird because the room isn't finished yet. But this is what I think I'm going to go for here. I think it looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do now actually is I want to get some chests in here. I'm also going to need to make some trap chests. I don't have any iron on me right now, so I can't make any of those, but I could start and get some chests into place. I'm going to have to run and get some leather too, get some item frames rolling. But what I can do is I can kind of extend this to the other side of the room. I made the room a little bit bigger than it needed to be, just while I was figuring out what I wanted to do here. I'm also going to have to keep a steady eye on lighting things up, because otherwise I'm going to have monsters spawning in here, which is something I definitely do not want. So I'm just going to make sure that I have frequent torches in here for the time being. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to need another slab or two. Seems like there's a cave over here somewhere. Keep finding these caves. Oh, hello. This is not a cave. This is my staircase, which is the part of the branch mine. So that's interesting. I didn't know that was right there. I guess that's what this was at one point. I was wondering what this cobblestone tunnel was. That's going to make it a little bit tricky to connect directly to the branch mine if that's going to be directly in front there, but we'll worry about that a little bit later. The first thing I want to do is, as I say, get this bulk storage rolling and get all these chests organised. So the next step to all of this is going to be to get the clay finished up here. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th one will be there. So if that would be the 7th one, the line would be right along here somewhere. Just like that. That'd connect up like that. And then we would bring this down like this. Look at that, perfect. It actually was the perfectly right size. That's good. Okay, so we now have 2 bulk storage shelves. I only want to make it 1 high in here. I don't foresee any more reason than that. Although, how many chests of cobblestone do we have? Quite a lot. I may be able to get clever though, maybe hide like extra chests under here possibly. I wonder if that is doable. Let me try. Do we have... yeah, I have an axe. Break these. Do we have any more chests lying around that are empty? This guy. And this. There we go. Let's see if we can actually do some chest magic here and hide an extra row of chests. If I did that, could I access the ones below there? I can. So I may do that too, so that I can kind of triple my storage in here. That may be a good way to go, because I do have a lot of cobblestone. That may be a good idea. Alternatively, I could raise this. We should also look at that as a viable option too, and see which I prefer before we go ahead and make our decisions for good and final. So if I was to raise this up one, I want to make sure I get that clay. I've got all this junk on me. I really need a chest to throw it in. There we go. If I pick this up, this dirt here, climb up here, I would need to raise everything up by one, so that there and that for now. And then the slabs would sit, oops, there instead. And then the stairs in front. This would change the way the roof might work out, though. It's kind of difficult to tell. This would probably... I don't know if that would remain the same or not. I'd fill that in. The roof would be a big question for me at this point. I could do this. That looks a little bit ugly, it has to be said. I would kind of need to do something a little bit like that then, wouldn't I, to kind of extend it out a little bit, because this doesn't look right. Could possibly do that with the cyan clay. What's that look like on the other side as well? Let's try and match it up a little bit. I actually weirdly like that. I actually think it looks pretty good. Although I do sacrifice the yellow either side. What happens if I replace this cyan here with yellow? What happens then? Because I kind of like having the colours on the side, because the cyan is only meant to be a frame. Is that detriment to the overall look? Kind of. It sort of does. Let's try and compare the two. Let's put some cyan in place here. Yeah, it definitely does. For me, it impacts on it quite a bit. So my question now would be, do I want to try and stick with the yellow here, or whether I want to make it cyan? I do prefer the 3 high though for this room. It makes it look a lot better. I don't know. I think I am going to roll with the yellow for now, and see what you guys think. I think what's actually messing me up a little bit here is I'm used to seeing either something like this, where they're lined up. I think that's what's kind of throwing me here a little bit. But obviously, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. I could bring it out more, but I don't really necessarily see the point in doing that at this point. I guess we could try that. Now it seems a bit flat. To me, it just seems a little bit flat compared to that. I do like having the depth. Also, if I was to chisel out a bit of the roof here, give it some depth that way. And then obviously the roof would go where the stone is here. I think that is what we're going to roll with for now. I might have a lamp in there and a lamp there and a lamp there. That's what I'm thinking I'm going to do. The lamps may actually help vary this up a bit too. So I think that's what I'm going to roll with. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to have to go back here, make sure that I'm not wasting any clay, as there's probably quite a lot that could be saved. I don't have a lot of the different colours here. For example, that for sure. That not so much. What about back here? Is this all visible? Yeah. This corner doesn't have anything in it right now. I think, actually, it's pretty efficient as far as clay goes. What about in here? Save this cyan, because no one's going to see that. Do the same thing over here. Save a little bit. Some cyan behind this. Oops. That's cobble. So all that really leaves now is solving the ender chest problem. But I think getting this done first will probably pave the way to that. Hello. There we go. So now I can try the chests. See what they look like. We have another empty chest. I guess this chest has a few things in it, but it'll work. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And then probably what I'll do is I'll have coal blocks again, sort of wrap around this, and then we'll have some quartz in here. The slabs. It's kind of like a mini storage room almost, really, because that is what it is. It's a bulk storage zone. So I think we're finding our way a little bit better now with the design. So I'm going to go ahead and try and replicate this that we have on this side and probably put together some floor in here and a little bit of the roof, and then I'll see what it looks like and I'll come back, see if we can make any more improvements to it, and then hopefully try and wrap this up. So I'm going to get to work, guys. Okay guys, so I thought it was time for another progress report here on the bulk storage area, and I've made quite a bit of progress since you last saw me. So as you can see, I have started to organize some of the bulk storage blocks that I have lying around, and I can't believe that I have this much cobble. All of these are full. I'm not even going to look through them all. I have this and that filled as well. I was amazed by how much cobble I have, and that's not all of it either. There's still some down in the branch mines that I've not been and picked up. I think there might be a single chest worth or maybe a little bit more down there as well. So this is a ridiculous amount of cobblestone, and many of you may ask, why do I keep that around? You know, I could just throw it out, I don't need it, that kind of thing. Well, I never know when I might need this. And that also includes in the future when perhaps I'm no longer at this base and I need a bunch of blocks. Maybe if I want to do a big building project, for example, and I feel like, I need a lot of cobblestone. Well, there we go, I have a lot of cobblestone. And it's not really taking up too much room just there and, you know, kind of all boxed in. So that's why I didn't throw any of it away. So I've kind of organized a bunch of stuff in here, got all the chests moved and that kind of thing, and stuff's looking pretty cleaned up now. Obviously the ceiling and the floor are still a bit of a disaster zone, and there's no proper lighting in place yet, but it's certainly a lot better than it was. So what I want to focus on doing now is actually tearing up the floor and actually getting what I want to do with that in place. Now what I'm thinking for the floor is to sort of play off what we already have in the other room. In the main storage room, I'm going to use coal blocks once again. I have plenty of coal. I have actually just under a double chest of coal. I had to think about that. I did have, before I made these coal blocks, over a double chest. So I've got plenty of coal. I don't mind spending a few in here in order to get this done. I think it'll be worthwhile in the end to have that look to it. I have to be very careful though, like right now I could not abandon this area because it's too dark. As soon as there is dark spots, monsters will begin to spawn because we're getting into that kind of situation, having lit up so many of the caves around, obviously for our darkroom trap. So gonna have to be kind of careful with that. I'm hoping that I have enough coal blocks with just a stack to do all of this, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough. But fingers crossed. Nope, definitely not gonna have enough. Let's continue bringing across here. Yeah, we're a couple short. What is that, 6? 6 short. Okay. Well, I do know that there's going to be a crafting table there, and there, and there. So that gives me a further 3. That halves it. I don't foresee as I'm going to have anything else in the floor here, so for now, that's going to have to be everything, unfortunately. I'll run and get some more coal when I have a spare moment. So the next thing I would like to do is actually begin to figure out what it is I want to do here with regards to the rest of the floor. I think I want to do a wider coal block path here than just one thick like this. I think that it's just a little bit too narrow as well. So we're going to have to bear that in mind when building here. So I'm just going to clear a small section out, and then we can figure out what it is we want to do from there. I'm going to move all of this out of the way. It's getting very dark in here. I'm going to have to throw down some light. There we go. Put some over there as well. So if we were to have more coal blocks, I do want to use some quartz slabs as well. It's going to be kind of difficult to determine where they are going to be. Actually, hang on, let's go get some more coal blocks and try and finish the coal. Let's see here. So, I'm going to tap into my coal supply a little bit doing this, but I could branch mine for an hour or two and get all the coal I need again. It's not a difficult task to do that at all. Really quick and simple to do. I'm probably going to find a decent amount of coal when I start digging tunnels to the branch mine anyway, so you spend a bit to get a bit, I guess. So let's finish up this little bit here before we do anything else. And that would kind of form this complete ring now. So what I would like to do is kind of extend this like I have done here, to make it too wide all the way around instead. A little bit like that. Now I do have some extra quartz in here to make into slabs. We have 24 slabs, that's a start. Let's pick this up. Oh, this is not too wide here. Oops. Let's remove that. Now we're back into the single wide stuff again. Doesn't look too bad. These two don't line up for some reason. Why is that? Oh, okay. I think this one is actually the right one then in that case, because there's meant to be a crafting bench here. Let me move this for a second. Meant to be a crafting bench in there. And that would form a too wide path all along here. Okay, so something a little bit like that then would be in place, and then here would also be one. There we go, that lines it up, I believe. No, it's still a bit weird. Something definitely stems from here though. I might end up tearing up some of this just to see if I can figure it out, because it just looks a bit weird now. What's going on here? There should be... Okay, the 3 should line up with the door, and then there should be one either side. There's 4 blocks from there. That would be 4 blocks too. So that seems lined up. If I look back, it is lined up. Now we're only one wide. It's very odd the way that this has worked out for us. I'm not sure 100% if I've got this right or not yet. I think these are throwing me off a little bit though, so I'm going to remove them for a while. This here seems like really thick. I don't think we need that wide, honestly. Save a lot of room there, and just have the one corner piece instead, and do something like that. Now that looks a lot more sensible. I'm gonna fill that in for the time being as well. Break that. Okay, that looks a lot better now. And then in here we're gonna have cyan stained clay again. See what this looks like. Hopefully it looks pretty good. I would say so. I quite like that. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is probably finish up the floor here, get some lighting in place, and also finish up the chests, I think. And then when I return, we can work on the branch mine part and the ceiling. So I'm going to get back to work once again. So, I've been working diligently, as always, to trying to finish off the project here that we've been working on, and I probably got a little bit more done than I intended to. I left you having said I was going to work on the floor, and then we would come back and figure out a connection to the branch mine and the ceiling. So, a lot of the work that I did, I just felt was pretty boring, honestly, to do on camera, such as replacing the ceiling with cyan stained clay and putting some lamps in. So I went ahead and did it. I did finish the floor, got all the chests in, that kind of thing. I moved some of the extra supplies that needed bulk storage, such as dirt and things like that, organized all my cobble. We have a lot of cobblestone. All of those are full. We're into this row here on just cobblestone. And then I worked on a connection to the branch mines. Now this isn't finished yet, but pretty soon it will be. But we're not going to finish it today, I don't think. I think this is becoming more of its own project than just part of the bulk storage area. So we're not going to have a door. This is going to be a very open area. Through the other side of the wall is going to be something else. I kind of want to change it up a little bit, as we have a door there, an effective door there. So it's nice to have something a little bit more open than perhaps we have had in other parts of the base. Now this is our new connection to the branch mines. It is a ladder, and I have changed all the cobblestone out with sandstone, similar to the sandstone thing we built over in the red corridor. And what I would like to do eventually in another video is we have this connection here. And don't get me wrong, it's not super long, but what I would like to do is perhaps widen it a little bit and then maybe add 1 or 2 caves using TNT along the way here. Kind of have some stone bricks and sort of make it a proper mining area rather than just a tunnel. I think it might look pretty cool. I could get some iron and some gold in there. Maybe if I find some diamonds, silk touch those. I have an emerald here, coal we could do. All that kind of stuff. So this is the old bulk storage area, all been ripped out now. In fact, I'm actually gonna leave him there for now. I was thinking about taking the ender chest, but I'm gonna leave it for now. This is where all the chests used to be. I've ripped it out now. I don't really want to change too much of this area, because we've kind of got the staircase and everything else going on here. But what I would like to do is sort of change it a little bit. And oddly, it lines up perfectly with the fact that that was there, but that's, you know, that is what it is. We'll take the easier route, I guess. So the idea is here to just kind of terraform it a little bit, and then you will walk into this area, which will probably remain as it is. The only thing that might change is what is in this area. I may just wall this up, because there's not really any reason to be there. Or I might make this into a small mining station, kind of fit in with the theme of this here. with some workbenches and furnaces and that kind of thing in here, an anvil, an ender chest, more for decoration than anything else, and also because we kind of have a room here, it makes sense to use it. I may end up just doing that, and that will kind of fill out the full branch mine here. So the actual branches themselves aren't really going to be touched. It's just the area leading up to the branch mines. So I think I'm going to do that at some point, but we aren't going to do that in today's episode, as I think we've probably got enough work done today for this episode. And I probably won't do this straight away either, because it's a lot of work to do all of that. I want to work on a few other projects that are of more pressing priority before we start messing around with stuff like that. But I think we are getting there. I really like this shaft. It has something a little bit different that perhaps we would not be normally expecting, so I'm pretty happy with it. And the whole book storage area in general too, I'm pretty happy with. I've moved pretty much everything that I can think of bulk storage wise into here. There's plenty of room for any more supplies that I amass a lot of, more cobblestone as well, that kind of thing. And I think this is going to do the job nicely for our remainder of our time while we are here. So looking pretty good all around, I have to say. Next up will probably be the furnace room. I think it's been a long time, but it's about time we build a proper furnace room. I'm also going to fill this up off camera as well, seeing as this is no longer needed anymore. And I'm going to kind of complete this whole corridor area off here so that it looks all nice and smooth instead of that hole that's been there for I don't know how long. So next episode we'll probably work on the furnace room, and then if we have a little bit of time we might look a little bit more at this, but I'm not sure. It might be a few episodes yet. We'll see, all in good time. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, guys. I've had a lot of fun putting together that bulk storage area and sort of designing a few things. And I hope to see you next time. So until then, see you later, and have a good day.